Hey, what's up everybody? It's Casey here at Strung Fly and Tackle, and today we're going to give the Steelhead a bit of a nightmare. We're going to do the Nightmare Jig. Alright, so for the Nightmare Jig. Now this is going to be a pretty simple tie, but don't let it fool you. It's very, very effective and easily one of our more popular steelhead float fishing jigs that we've got at the shop here. So I've taken a pearl white Compleat angler jig head in 1/4 size, throwing that in the jaws of the vise. For a tying thread, I'm going to go white as well, UTC 140. And we'll put that, or tie that in, just right behind the jig head. We're not going to go down too far. I'm just kind of going to work over that painted section on this one. I don't want to go way down the shank with materials or anything like that, so we're going to slide a worm on there. So something that I do a little bit different on mine, I like a little bit of flash in my jig, so I'm going to add a turn or two of this medium UV polar chenille in Pearl by Hareline. Find that putting a little bit of sparkle in a fly, or sorry, into a jig is never a bad thing. But this isn't going to be too over the top or too loud or anything like that. Just going to do one. And just 2 wraps of that, just for a little tiny bit of enhancement. Very sparse. Next, I'm going to take some Strung Schlappen in the color white by OfishL. And now, I just had like the feather that I grabbed that I liked, the shape of it and everything like that. It was a pretty short one, so I'm going to double these up just so instead of doing a whole bunch of wraps on a really, really long feather, we'll do a whole bunch of wraps on 2 smaller ones. So I'm going to pair up the tips as best as I can. I'm going to find where I like my length to start, and we're going to tie those in together. Like I said, if you got a longer feather, by all means go ahead and just use one, but if you got a couple of these short ones in the pack, this is the perfect opportunity to use these ones up. Just a collar of white Schlappen. Tie that off. Make sure everything's nice and secure, and we're going to whip this off. That is the tying portion of this jig. And this can be done, again, like I always say, in a variety of different colors. You don't have to just use the Nightmare worm as well. You know, just even this white collar with a pink worm, like a standard pink color, or, I mean, really any color worm would be very effective. So you can have a bunch of these tied up, ready to go in your vest and thread on whatever color worm that you like, but because we're doing a Nightmare jig, I'm going to grab a 3-inch Mad River Nightmare worm, and all we're going to do is just thread this right onto the hook. Easier said than done on camera. I've got a camera in between me and my arms outstretched, and I'm trying to keep this in focus, so bear with me here. But we're just going to feed this through the middle as best we can. And now there's a little bit of translucency to this worm, so it makes it a little easier than if it was like a solid or a more opaque color. We're going to push that through and slide that down the shank. We want that coming off the back as straight as we can. If you've got too much shoved onto the hook, it can kind of sit a little bit funny, and you might have to back it off and rework how much you have how much worm you slide the hook point through before you have it come out. But I'm pretty happy with how that one sits. And that is an extremely, extremely effective jig, especially later in the season. Not that it's only a late season pattern by any stretch, but as we get towards the springtime, this is a must-have as far as I'm concerned. So I'll have the materials for this jig listed in the description below. Hit that like button for me, subscribe to us on YouTube, check out all our social media. If you got any questions, you can hit us up on social media via DM, send us an email, call us here at the shop, or even come on by. Always happy to talk flies, jigs, all that kind of stuff. All the materials can be purchased either in-store or online, www.c-run. Thanks for watching, everybody, and try it if you haven't.